You know, I thought my video about Tim Burton was a bit too dark, so I thought I'd lighten things up, you know, following on from the Christmas spirit. So this is a nice little video about mind-bending worlds, human suffering,
and death.
Obviously, this video title is a little bit biased. However, no matter who your favourite anime director is, or, you know, manga author, you should really embrace that. Even if it is Reki Kawahara. Nah, Sword Art Online is fine. Okay, it's not perfect. But I really wanted to make this video to talk about my favourite anime director, someone who's highly regarded by a lot of people. And this director is Satoshi Kon. See, it's really hard to definitively say why Satoshi is my favourite anime director because, you know, no small amount of words can really do him justice. And if you've never seen a Satoshi Kon film, it's fine. You know, this is going to be my sort of opinion on him, and hopefully this inspires you to check out some of his works on your own. He's such an important storyteller, and it all boils down to really how he affected the media climate around him. It's much in the same way that Akira Kurosawa innovated storytelling through dynamic action and amazing wordplay, which went on to revitalise the film industry in Japan. I mean, he was, you know, noticed as the sort of godfather of film. And I'd say Satoshi brings along his own type of revolution in his own way. It's down to how we can really experience the endless possibilities of an image on screen, how to embed themes within environments which only Satoshi can control. See, he is a mastermind, he's an artist, and if Christopher Nolan is your favourite director, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Satoshi did it first. Satoshi Kon was born in Sapporo in 1963. It's a place famous for its apples and cider and apples. He was classmates and quite close friends with a guy called Saiho Takazawa, who went on to become his own manga author. My god, this guy really likes planes. I can imagine they really bounced off each other, and I think this was sort of the spur of the moment decision where Satoshi was like, you know what, I'm going to follow an illustration career path of my own. And so he got into the graphic design course at Musashino Art University in 1982. And something that really boosted Satoshi, both artistically and sort of mentally, was when his short manga, Toriko, actually got chosen as a runner-up for the Tetsuya Chiba Awards. This is essentially a festival run by Kodansha, which is one of Japan's biggest publishing companies, and you'll see their logo on a lot of anime too. He ended up working as Katsushiro Otomo's assistant, you know, as you do, you know, working with the creator of Akira. I mean, it's a pretty big deal at that point in time. I mean, it sounds like Kanye West's dream. Actually, shit. No, no, we don't talk about Kanye, do we? How are you going to be in the same room as Alex Jones and still be the weird one? Anyway, Satoshi actually worked with Otomo for quite a while. I mean, he was illustrating a lot, you know, he was working as a background artist and, you know, dabbling in a lot of work and sort of building his repertoire. And finally, he got his directorial debut, working on an OVA of none other than your boy, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, it's a solid start to a career. My guy knew the JoJo's reference before anyone else. See, over the years, Satoshi really wanted to culminate his style and really start to fuse reality with fantasy. And this can be done in a lot of ways. Like, if we look at Miyazaki's work, this can be tailored to a universal audience. That's the rating is U, it's for everyone. Whilst Satoshi, he's aiming for a much more mature demographic because his themes are, you know, closely more related to mature themes as opposed to things that are accessible to everyone. And when Perfect Blue was made, I think people really started to get the idea of who Satoshi Kon really was. Originally a novel written by Yoshikazu Takeuchi, the story delves into the concept of metamorphosis. And the film dabbles in the changing of one's identity, and it dabbles into the mental illness side of things as well, and dissociative identity disorder. Basically, it follows a Japanese pop idol who decides to change her image to pursue a career in acting, and subsequently, shit goes down. There's a lot of stalking, a lot of murder, and the film encompasses the negative repercussions of fame really well, like in the absolute worst case scenario. And it's very real, you know, it's quite anecdotal of the idealization culture in Japan, especially of pop idols. See, the film deals with a lot of real world issues, and it looks into self-destructiveness and how we can often be our own worst enemy. And Perfect Blue just went on to inspire so many other things, you know, the big one being which recreates that sort of iconic shot in the bathtub, which loads of students have tried to recreate, loads of filmmakers, and it's really oversaturated and annoying. It sort of takes away from the original premise, and I think it's overdone. It's a very violent film. Like, it deals with the human psyche in a quite organic and obviously original way, and this was amazing for Satoshi's debut, like his debut feature, and it was really liked in the West. It's breaking the mold now, but the common preconception of animation, especially back in the day, that it was just exclusively for children, and to that I have to say,
you're a donut! You're so stupid! You're so stupid! You're stupid! Dumb!
This is why Guillermo del Toro and so many other creators are pushing the idea for mature themes like Pinocchio, which just came out and is brilliant. Because as an art form, it really should be explored and just not remain one-dimensional. It's just not for children. As much as I do like, I don't know, Bambi. Actually, maybe that might not be the best choice.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!
Yeah, that wasn't the best example. Satoshi went on to make 4 more films in his unfortunately short lifetime. Well, technically 3 films and a series. Millennium Actress was produced due to Rex Entertainment going bankrupt, and it was kind of made to appear like an optical illusion, to sort of flip the negative themes of Perfect Blue into positive ones. This was the last film he made with traditional techniques before moving to digital animation, but he had a lot more creative freedom here, and it's shown with his composer, Susumu Hirasawa, who really elevated the story. And this is definitely a more accessible film for people who just aren't fans of heavy-hitting themes that are included in Perfect Blue. Again, it just merges one's reality with the metaphysical, and yet it just shows Satoshi's capacity to change the world and have fantastical elements, really play a major part in the narrative. And you'd go back to sort of exploring the themes of mental illness with Paranoia Agent, which is essentially about paranoia. It's about the harmful effects of self-destruction, and the rock bottom of these individuals is depicted as a kid with a baseball bat, which is, it's actually a really good show. But it still remains innovative and original, every single time. He's not just recycling ideas. And you know what's more original? Just saying, you know what, I'm gonna make Tokyo Godfathers, which slapped and won festivals. And I fucking love Tokyo Godfathers. It's such a stylistic change for Satoshi. He chooses a whole new narrative to work with, and yet he still kills it. And in my mind, this is actually the reason that secured him as a master of film to me. Because in a sense, he's gained transferable skills. And yes, it's a whole new premise and sort of idea for him, but he's been able to take the foundation of what he's learned, how to make a good story, and transfer that over to different genres. He's not just a one genre, one trick pony. It's like how Jordan Peele went from comedy to horror, and yet he still bangs it. He still makes really good stuff because he knows how to tell a good narrative first, and then you can build upon the genre archetypes. He just innately knows how to tell a good story. And you can just see how Satoshi was so driven on the idea that he wanted to move from genre to genre and play with different ideas, just in order to remain innovative and unconventional. And this doesn't just keep his work from being bland, it also makes it so much more original and, in a way, more personal. And I think in a way, when you give yourself less to work with and always try to remain uncomfortable with whatever you're doing, I think that's where the best ideas can really flourish. And of course, there's Paprika. See, Paprika was Satoshi's last film, and it was a game changer. In every sense of the word. I mean, it pulled everything together. Everything Satoshi loved, everything he wanted to express, it's really all there. And it's one of my favourite films because, first of all, it's important. It resembles the end of an era. And, Satoshi couldn't make another film because he sadly passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2010. And he was just 46. Do you know how young that is? And you have a lot of older directors still making films. I mean, Scorsese's still going. You've got Miyazaki and all these people. And it is a shame. It's a fucking tragedy. And it's really bitter. Obviously, we could have had so many more incredible stories from Satoshi. But, in a way, he really had nothing else to prove. Satoshi was never afraid of what people would think about his vision. His darker ideas probably came across as uninviting to a lot of people, but to the majority, they loved him, and I think this is just because he was being himself, and, his originality spurred from his own, sort of influence and his own perspective on life. He was examining the human mind in his own way, and best of all, you can genuinely tell he was having so much fun making these films. Paprika's story was revolutionary, and not just for anime, but cinema in general. And it's similar to the themes shown in Perfect Blue, it really carried over to stories which we still see today. We still see so much influence from Satoshi's work in current filmmakers, up and coming filmmakers. Sometimes you'll just spot a homage to Satoshi in a random blockbuster film, and that's the influence and sort of power he had. And any director who really cares for just incredible original storytelling will tell you their admiration for Satoshi Kon, and how he didn't just leave behind an incredible legacy, he was the reason so many more incredible legacies started. That's real power. Like, that's real art. And that's why I think, on this basis, that Satoshi isn't just one of the best directors of anime film, he's one of the best directors in the history of cinema. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you have a lovely Christmas, whether you celebrate it or not, and please feel free to subscribe to this channel, it means the world, and other than that, take care.